the mistake a lot of people make in a sales process is they think selling is talking. And it's the exact opposite. Selling is a lot of asking. And when you ask a lot of questions, you ask a lot of stupid questions sometimes, do a lot of asking. And ask the same question different ways. And now you get the value out of it. Back to my pen example. Okay, so you want a red pen, right? Why do you want a red pen? Well, because he thinks they are prettier. He thinks they're more valuable. Well then, maybe I shouldn't sell the red pen for 5 rupees like I'm selling the blue pen. Maybe the price for the red pen is 10 rupees. Because he values red more than the blue, right? So it's this process of asking questions that helps you determine value. Good question, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, good. So, there are other aspects of value in selling the money, and they refer to solution selling and consultative selling and value selling. I just gave you some examples of value selling, establishing value. Now let me give you an example of consultative selling. A consultative selling process comprises of you sitting down with your prospect or whoever you're trying to negotiate a deal with, and being almost his consultant. You keep away your ideas and your prejudices, and you try and understand that person's problem. Because remember, they are doing that deal or they're buying something from you because they're trying to solve a problem. That's the only reason they're doing it. Now, if you become a participant with them, work with them, consult with them, understand what their problem is, now you can create a consultative solution for them. You guys understand this concept of being a consultant and then coming up with something? So rather than going in with a preconceived product, is to go in and ask, so what are you looking to do? So if there's an executive that says, you know what, I want to commute in the fastest way possible from my home to my office. And let's say I work for Mahindra. Mahindra, as you know, manufactures cars and planes and everything, right? What would you sell that executive? Why? What if that executive lived in Ahmedabad and worked in Mumbai? Right? So you need to ask a lot of questions and consult with him and see what his problem is. His problem is he wants to commute from Ahmedabad to Mumbai every day in the morning. So a car is not going to work. So you want to sell him a plane or something like that, right? So instead of going in with a preconceived idea that, you know what, I'm going to sell him my car, you go in with an open question book and consult with the person. Okay. I want to jump over to the other side. In any transaction or in any sales deal, you need to know what your BATNA is. And BATNA stands for the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Who wants to take a shot at what that means? Take a shot. Yes, go ahead, try.
So if we have already finalized a deal or we have reached a price for selling a particular good, but still I give my customer an option that apart from this, there is this option which you could choose, but these are its qualities or these are its prices. So he has a, if he sort of slightly even trusts me, then he can see that, okay, this is what I'm getting at this price, negotiated with me, and this is the other best alternative to what I have.
Not exactly. Yes.
It is, if already the deal is about to close, and then I need to consider what are the other options that the buyer might look for. And in that case, what would be alternative deal?
Okay, so not quite. Let me. Did I see a hand here? Yeah.
Suppose the deal is about to close and the buyer wants to back out, or you find more value in some alternative. by changing the solution slightly?
No, not quite. Let me give you a hint here before the others give the answer. BATNA is from your perspective. So this is not about the buyer. This is about you. So with that as a hint, what do you think it is?
So if the deal goes south, what is the best possible deal I'm willing to take away?
Absolutely. BATNA, what he said is correct, is if I cannot consummate the deal at the terms that I would like to consummate it at, what is my option? What's my worst case situation? That's what's my best alternative to a negotiated deal. If I cannot negotiate the deal, am I worse off? So if there is a significant pressure on price or on service, and I'm not prepared to do it, and I'm prepared to walk away, do I have other options? What are they? What happens if I don't get the deal? I mean, it happens a lot in my business. I'm going in and we sell multi-million-dollar deals to large financial institutions, and we get massive, significant pressure from them for different terms, for different prices. And sometimes we walk away from it because sometimes it's just not a good deal. If I'm selling a large system to a bank and the price is not right, and I'm going to dedicate a lot of people to work on that project, I'm incurring significant opportunity costs, which means what? My people cannot work on other projects that may be more profitable. So my best alternative is to say, you know what? I don't want the deal. Your position at the negotiating table is massively, significantly, immensely improved if you go in understanding what your BATNA is or what your walk line is. How far are you willing to go before which it is just not a good deal for you? You guys follow me? Okay, any questions on the diamond? Professor Kusri or Professor, anything you want to add here?
No, will you give an actual example of where this really happened?
Yeah, I can give you an actual example. So, in my most recent company, we were negotiating a deal with a large financial institution. It was a captive arm of a large automobile manufacturer in the US and now also in India. When manufacturers sell cars, they give you financing along the way, right? And many of these car manufacturers have in-house financing arms. And our systems are used to help them manage all the financing. And we had agreed on the terms. We had agreed on everything except what is known as a liability clause. A liability clause is, if we make a mistake, what is our liability? What is the consequence for us not delivering the project timely? So if we said, you know what, we're going to deliver the project in 6 months. Of course, if we don't deliver in 6 months, it hurts the buyer, right? Because he's planning his business around getting the system timely. And so it's very common for them to say, you know, the consequential damages are going to be $8 million or $10 million. In this case, the damages that were being asked of us were so high, and we felt the risk-reward was not appropriate. What we were going to make in terms of profit, the reward, was not in line with the risk we were taking, the liability. We actually didn't sign the contract. So you should only do good deals, and every deal needs to stand on its own. And sometimes you need to walk away from bad deals. Yes, sir.
In such cases, there is a probability of you failing to deliver in 6 months. So, how do you quantify this liability as a probability of failure?
Yeah, very good question. This question is, there is a probability of failure in this example I gave you about not being able to deliver in 6 months. And how do you quantify the risk of that? That's your question, right? There are various pretty sophisticated ways of doing that beyond the scope of this class. But in any large transaction, you know what the risk is because you've got some experience. You have a judgment. Even if you're a new entrepreneurial startup, you have your own judgment. You know what? I think I can do it in 6 months. Now, if the customer is willing to pay you $1 million for what you're selling, and the consequence liability that he's asking for in the contract is, let's say, $100,000. To me, that's a pretty reasonable risk. I'm happy to take it. If my cost is $1 million, my price is $1 million, and he's asking for a liability of, let's say, $2 or $3 million, I'd probably still do the deal because chances of me doing it on time are pretty high. It's not as if I'm a buffoon. It's not as if I'm knowingly giving him a bad date. I'm very confident I'm going to do it in 6 months. But there's always a chance I might fail. So you have to kind of judge that a little bit. And very often the liability amount is much higher than the price of the project itself. So it's not uncommon that you're selling something for $1 million and the customer asks for a $10 million liability. It's fairly common. But you have to make a judgment there. Okay? All right, good. How many of you have not had a chance to read the article that was left on your desk? Okay, can we take about maybe 10, 15 minutes? 10?
6 minutes.
Okay, take 6 minutes. There's 3 pages. Take 6 minutes and read it. Think of it in the context of the diamond, and we'll have some discussions around it. raise your hands if you need more time. Okay. All right, one more minute. How many of you have finished reading? All right, so this case is asking us, we have to answer a question here with this case, whether Bosie e Faora, should continue to or stop with their solution selling. Remember, what is solution selling? Solution selling is understanding what that person's problem is, or what that customer's problem is, and then giving a solution for that problem. It's not just blindly going in and selling him whatever it is you have. You guys follow what I just said? Okay, so just to get a level set, how many of you think Augusto and Cora and Bosie and Faora should stop solution selling? Just hold your hands up, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you, 9 or 10 of you think they should stop solution selling. How many of you are not sure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 8 people are not sure. 18, and this is about 50. So maybe 20 of you think they should continue with solution selling, right? All right, so let's bring out what this case is about. What is the situation that Augusto and Cora find themselves in? Who wants to take a shot? Yes, sir, go ahead.
The company's profit margins are going down. So they want to start up a business with this charitable hospital so that they can retain the margin and the product sales can be maintained.
The margins are going down, and what was the second point?
They want to keep this business going, so they want to tie up with this new hospital in terms of leasing kind of thing, that they would give, provide the product not for just purchase but for lease as well.
Okay. Broader product set. You can tell I'm not used to teaching teaching, right? I'm breaking these chalks every couple of minutes. Okay, what else, what other situation do Augusto and Cora find themselves in?
So, Sergio is not ready to pay higher prices. He's simply not willing to pay more.
Sergio is unwilling. What else? Huh? What about competition?
Other person is also over there to sell his products.
So what?
Probably this, if they are increasing their price, he won't take it from them and he go to the other one.
So competition might have a better price. Is that what you're saying? Okay. What else? Call it out. Let's keep it going. Next.
Sir,
More sellers and customers.
What else? More sellers than customers. Who said that and what does that mean? Yes.
So what is saying that the customer, in this case a hospital, he also is part of other hospitals from whom they take contracts. So I mean, but there are more sellers.
So his point is Sergio has influence.
yes, sir, influence.
Okay. What else?
So this influential group makes up 60% of their business. which is a very-
60% of their business. Okay.
So it's important for linkage with the margins.
Okay, so the customer is almost holding the seller. He's holding Augusto and Cora hostage. He's saying to them, you know what, if you raise your prices on me, I'm going to tell all the other hospitals that have influence over to not buy from me. Right? That's, he didn't say that, but that's what he's implying. Yes.
I think more than, I mean, Sergio is running a hospital which is philanthropically funded, so it's more of a constraint to him to buy products at cheaper price.
So he has price constraints. Is that what you're saying? Dollar constraints. Budget constraints. What other thing? What else is going on here? Why are the margins lower? What? So talk to me. Who is doing the discounting?
So the sales reps.
The sales guys are doing discounting. Do they have the authority to discount? Yes, the sales guys have the authority to discount.
In a case when hospital has got more than 10 doctors.
Yes. So the sales guys are discounting it. And that's what's causing the margin erosion, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that the primary reason why the margin is eroding? That's right. It is the primary reason that there's a discounting of price going on and the salespeople have the authority to discount it. So what is one possible fix to prevent the margin from eroding? Before we get to solution selling, what's one thing that Bozier Faura can do, or Augusto and Cora can do, to prevent the discounting?
So that minimum price clause which they have mentioned, they can implement it much more authoritatively, or they can make sure that it is implemented. That okay, it has to be a minimum price, then it can be.
Okay, a minimum price implementation. What else?
Standard
How are salespeople paid? Does anyone know that here? Commission. Okay, so if I'm a sales guy, and if I sell something for $100, I get a percentage or a commission based on the price that I'm selling.
So the
Okay.
sales guy should not be rewarded on volume as the sales, they should be rewarded on price as well.
You were almost there. Sales guy, that's exactly right. So instead of rewarding them on the price or the sales volume, why don't you reward them on the profit margin? This is a very common technique used in situations like this, where a product is being sold, where salespeople are compensated based on gross margin. One of the companies that I was with early on in my career, we used to pay the salespeople 18 to 22% commission based on the gross margin. And, you know, we would know what the cost was, and so we would let them discount it to wherever they wanted to discount it to. But they got paid only on the difference between the cost and the selling price. So that's one thing that could be done, isn't it? Okay, what else is going on here? What do we know about Sergio? One point came up here, he had some budget constraints. Someone said he was unwilling, but what else? The case points out he is. He's a very frugal person by nature. That's what the case says to us, right? So a frugal person is not going to spend unless they see a lot of value coming out. Okay? Good. Alright, so now let's shift to solution selling. How did the solution selling idea originate?
It originated for discussion between salesman and doctor. They said that they should sell solutions for patients who actually need a monitoring on daily basis.
So there was a sales guy who talked to someone at the Sao Paulo hospital, right?
Yeah.
And
It was
so
a large
give us,
hospital.
so tell us what happened there, both of you.
It was a large hospital, so getting people to actually take up solution selling at a higher price which could be afforded by the customers. They got better services like this thing. When they had heart issues or when they actually mixed two of their products, they got a better third product, which was
Yeah, but it was not about price. Go back to my 1,000 rupee example. It was about the value they got, right? It was not just price. Does anyone know what pre-eclampsia is?